Oh man, grab your matulats and pull up a chair because episodes and of May I ask for one final thing. Hit like a perfectly timed plot twist at a royal tea party, where the crumpets are laced with revenge and the scones come with a side of sorcery. We're diving straight into Scarlet El Vandimion's whirlwind, picking up right after that explosive premiere where our girl got unceremoniously dumped by her sleazy fiancé, second Prince Kyle, in favor of the scheming Saintess Terenessa Hawkins, accused of being a bully. Please, Scarlet's the queen bee who's been buzzing with untapped fury, and now, honey, the hive is on fire. Episode kicks off with the kind of high-stakes hijinks that make you forget you're watching anime and not eavesdropping on a noble conspiracy hotlin. Scarlet, still riding the high or low, depending on the body count from her public beatdown of Kyle's ego in it, finds herself in the crosshairs literally. An assassin slips through the shadows like a bad ex who won't take a hint, blade gleaming with vanquish poison because of course the baddies import their drama. But Scarlet, she's not just surviving, she's thriving. With a flick of her wrist and a glare that could curdle cream, she unleashes her latent powers. Think elegant swordplay mixed with magical bursts that look like fireworks gone rogue. The fight's a ballad of brutality, dodges that defy gravity, strikes that echo like thunderclaps, and one hilariously undignified moment where the assassin trips over his own cloak mid-lunge. Scarlet dispatches him with the casual efficiency of someone swatting a fly at brunch, but not before he drops a bombshell clue about deeper corruption rotting the kingdom's core. Enter the key players, turning this solo revenge tour into a full ensemble cast. There's Scarlet's steadfast tutor, Lord Ryle, a silver-tongued mentor with a dry wit sharper than his rapier. He's the voice of reason who somehow ends up enabling her chaos, muttering, "My lady, perhaps less exploding next time." Then we meet her budding allies, a ragtag crew of exploited knights and wide-eyed aides, like the earnest Squire Fane, who's all paved of loyalty and zero chale, vowing to shield Lady Scarlet with my very life. Spoiler. He almost does, in a comically botched shield bash, and lurking in the wings, Prince Julius, Kyle's cooler-headed older brother, whose subtle glances scream, "I'm Team Scarlet," but playing chess. The vibe here is electric, part John Wick in frilly gowns, part The Devil Wears Prada but with demons instead of deadlines. It's fast-paced, laugh-out-loud funny. Scarlet's quip after the assassin dusts himself, "Next time, send flowers instead of knives," yet laced with that undercurrent of righteous rage. By the episode's close, Scarlet's not just punching up. She's rallying a rebellion, her eyes sparkling with the thrill of finally calling the shots. Episode. Buckle up, because it escalates from skirmish to showdown, like upgrading from a food fight to a full-on feast of fisticuffs. Picking up the assassin's thread, Scarlet traces the poison trail straight to the Viper's nest. Minister Godwin, a slimy political whose corruption makes used-car salesmen look saintly. He's been puppeteering Terenessa's miracles, raid scams and funneling kingdom funds into his offshore dragon lairs. The ep opens with a pulse-pounding chase through fog-shrouded Ollie. Scarlet and her new squad fending off a wave of vanquish goons, their attacks a chaotic symphony of fireballs, shadow tendrils, and one poor thug getting yeeted into a fountain by Finn's overzealous enthusiasm. Big moment alert. Scarlet corners Godwin in his opulent study, the air thick with incense and impending doom. She doesn't just confront him. She dismantles him, verbally eviscerating his schemes with facts sharper than her blade, then physically backing it up when he summons spectral guardians. Think ghostly bureaucrats with clipboards of doom. The climax. A startling revelation drops like a guillotine. Godwin's not just greedy, he's in league with foreign powers plotting a coup, and Terenessa's the unwitting or witting pawn. Scarlet spares him for now, twisting the knife by exposing his ledgers to the allies she's mobilized, turning his empire into a house of cards mid-collapse. The overall vibe across these two eps, pure adrenaline-fueled catharsis, like exhaling after holding your breath through a bad breakup. It's got that addictive mix of over-the-top action, snappy banter, and heartfelt underdog energy. Scarlet's not a flawless heroine. She's a storm in silk, flawed by her impulsive streak but magnetic in her unapologetic fire. Characters pop off the screen. Kyle's a cartoonish cad you'd love to throttle, Terranessa a tragic manipulator teetering on redeemable, and Scarlet, she's the spark that ignites it all, leaving you cheering every smackdown. Let's talk visuals, because if may I ask for one final thing, is a revenge opera. The animation is its orchestra, vibrant, dynamic, and occasionally hitting a sore note that makes you wince but not walk out. Studio feel. It's got that polished mid-tier glow, like a heirloom sword. Sharp where it counts, but the hilt could use a gem or two. The art style is a feast for the eyes, leaning into lush, romantic fantasy aesthetics that scream escape but make it fashion. Character designs are spot on. Scarlet's flowing crimson locks and piercing emerald eyes capture her noble ferocity, every strand whipping like a battle flag in the waned. Backgrounds. Drool-worthy. The kingdom's gilded halls and misty forests render with intricate detail. Golden filigree on ballroom chandeliers that catch the light just so, or fog-enshrouded assassin lairs where shadows play tricks like mischievous sprites. It's got that painterly quality, evoking classic light novel covers come to life, and the color palette deep crimsons for Scarlet's rage, cool indigos for intrigue pops without overwhelming but the real star. The animation in action sequences. Holy haymakers, these fights move. Episode's assassin duel is a highlight. Fluid Sakuga bursts where Scarlet's sword arcs slice through the air with tangible weight, her magical flares exploding in particle effects that feel explosive yet elegant. No stiff poses here, the exaggerated dodges and goofy pratfalls that tripped assassin. Chef's kiss blends seamless fluidity with just enough kai flair for spells without the uncanny valley vibes that plague lesser shows. Goonwave amps it up with multi-character choreography that's chaotic in the best way. Finn's flailing shield clashes, Ryle's precise counters, Scarlet's gravity-defying spins. It's like a dance number directed by a caffeinated Genghis Khan. Gushing. Absolutely. These moments make you lean forward, heart-pounding, because the animators nailed the kinetic joy of a well-earned smackdown that said, a gentle nudge where it could level up. Quieter scenes occasionally dip into budget-saver territory. Some dialogue-heavy rallies or exposition dumps lean on static frames with minimal lip-sync, making Scarlet's impassioned speeches feel a tad slideshow-y. And while the art shines in motion, character expressions in downtime could use more micro-twitches. Vanessa's saintly, faked cracks with telltale smirks, but Kyle's perpetual sneer borders on repetitive, like a glitchy emoji. It's not a deal-breaker, the story's momentum carries it. But imagine if those idle beats matched the fight highs. Peak perfection. Overall, it's gorgeous enough to frame, with room to grow into something legendary. Spilling this over our imaginary caf table, I'm straight up obsessed with May I Ask for One Final Thing episodes and turned what could have been a one-note revenge romp into a binge-worthy banger that's got me cackling, cheering, and low-key plotting my own noble uprising. Scarlet's my spirit animal. That blend of poise and punchy pettiness. Relatable laugh. Watching her flip from dutiful fiance to kingdom-wrecking whirlwind feels like the ultimate, and then I said nope, fantasy. Laced with humor that lands like a well-timed eye-roll. Finn's heroics had me snorting mid-sip. The black comedy shines, assassins getting owned mid-monologue. Gold. And the heart, those glimpses of Scarlet's vulnerability, like her quiet chat with Ryle about lost trust, add layers that make the laughs hit harder. What's got me crossing fingers for the series? Deeper dives into the assemblage of Terranessa, some tragic backstory spice, flesh out Julius' scheming loyalty, And let's see Finn evolve from comic relief to competent sidekick without losing the goof. More world building too. That Vanquish conspiracy hints at epic stakes, so please, no filler arcs. Keep the momentum roaring, honest critique. The pacing flirts with overload in eps reveal dump slow it just a smidge for brothers, but hey, when the payoff's this satisfying, it's forgiven. And so far, this is the fall watch that's got me glued, dreaming of Scarlet's next swing. Who's with me for round